All right, this is from 32-3, and it asks which is false. And they said the answer was B, that this one is false. And how you figure this out, it's saying like x minus 5 squared is equal to 9. And it said that it's equivalent to x being 2 or x being 8. So what you do with that is you say, okay, you need to solve for x in each one. So if we have x minus 5 squared equals 9, then we want to square this one, which is using FOIL with x minus 5, x minus 5. So you'd have x squared minus 10x plus 25 equals 9. And then you want to make it equal to 0, so you can factor it or use the quadratic equation or whatever, but you can subtract 9, which would be plus 16. And then if you factor this, it would be x minus 8 and x minus 2. And after you factor it, you say, okay, what would cause each of these to equal 0? And so we'd say, oh, when you add 8 to both sides, add 2 to both sides. So the values for x that work in this problem are 2 and 8. They both are correct answer. If you put a 2 in here and you said, okay, 2 minus 5 is negative 3. Negative 3 squared, negative 3 times negative 3 is 9. Yep, 9 equals 9. That's true. Or if you put 8 in there, 8 minus 5 is 3. 3 squared is 9. 9 equals 9. Yep, that's true. So that's why A was true. Let's see why B is not. So it's x plus 1 squared equals 4. And they are saying that x is negative 1 and x is 3. So let's find out. First, we want to square this, x plus 1 times x plus 1. So we have x squared plus 2x plus 1 equals 4, because we did FOIL, first, outer, inner, and last. Okay, now we want to subtract 4 to get it equal to 0, so we can factor it and solve it. So we're going to subtract 4 from 1, which is plus 3. Then we're just going to factor this part, which is x plus 1 and x plus 2. Oops, maybe that's not right. 3, no, 2, that's wrong. Factor that. Make sure I did this right. 1 times 1, 1x is 2x. And then x squared, okay, and then we subtracted 4, oh, that's negative 3. That's what my problem was. Okay, that was negative 3. So then we have, to factor this, it would be positive 3 here and negative 1 here. So then we would solve for x in both of them. So x is 1 and x is negative 3. And see, they said negative 1 and positive 3. So these are not the things that worked for this. The other thing I wanted to show you is all of these problems have an exponent of 2. When we're factoring, we often have 2 or 3 as an exponent. And one of the things that's interesting is that exponents tell us the number of answers that are correct. So 2 is a solution to that one. 8 is a solution to that one. Both of them worked, as I showed you before. In this one, they said is negative 1 a solution, and we tested. It came up with positive 1 and negative 3. What you could have done instead of doing all the work I did for factoring is you could have just put this number in first and put negative 1 in here and go, okay, negative 1 plus 1 squared. Well, negative 1 plus 1 is 0, so 0 squared does not equal 4. So negative 1 is not true. And so you could have just plugged them in as well. But this is the reason that you're getting 2 answers, is because we have an exponent of 2. And that tells us we have 2 answers.